Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. How is everybody? So, today's weather forecast in Appleton, Wisconsin, high of 98 degrees. My air conditioning here in the shop is not working properly. We are currently at 79 degrees. Thus the t-shirt. Colin, yeah, yay, another day. Happy Tuesday. Gabriel, good afternoon. Russell, how you doing? Um, so my landlord looked at the situation this morning and was like, well, if it starts getting into the 80s, we'll call someone in. So it's like at 79 right now. It's supposed to be in the 90s all week. This is unseasonably warm for Appleton this month of the year. So normally we get this kind of weather for like 10 days in August, and that's it. But it's so miserable that we've got like the air conditioning units running at the house so that the cats don't like melt away. We're pretty well insulated, so we don't really, not having air conditioning isn't a huge deal, but it is this month. So. All right. Let's see what we got today. Only 87 there. I would. Nice. Expecting heavy rain, thunderstorms, hail, strong winds, and even the possibility of tornadoes. Yikes. Well, that would be welcome here. My marigolds have died. Oops. I'm moving things over into another tray here. Move that off to the side. All right, let's see. Thing is all discombobulated. 88 in Kentucky. Yeah, I know. The only nice thing is that if this weather keeps up, I don't have to mow the lawn this next week. It's just not it's just gonna burn. It's not gonna do anything. Just getting organized here. I didn't quite get Tuesday's always tough for me to get stuff done before the show because it's a shorter morning. I meant to go and load up all my stack drawers, but well, that didn't happen. All right. Let's finish this guy up. The more I want to put this pencil together because it's been kind of disassembled for quite a while. So we'll get that assembled. We're going to do this more. We have I got a pressure bar in for that vest pocket Duofold, so we're gonna do that. I don't know why I didn't already put a sack on that, but well, such is life, I guess. And I got a bunch of pens I want to test, so we got a little bit of stuff to do today. We can get back to those stylographs that I'm struggling with. I guess we got one to work. That was pretty good. The others have been soaking overnight in Rapido-Ease. You finally finished your 45 coronet connection with the collection with that red pencil, so you won't bug me about it anymore. That's all right. Boy, I hate to turn the heat gun on, but I got to turn the heat gun on. Oops. Yeah, one of these days I got to get myself a nice coronet. Whether it be wall over sharp or a Parker 45. You've got a pink one. I could see having a blue 45 coronet. I think that would be acceptable. You call it champagne silver. Yeah, what I didn't mention is I got a bucket of cold water with my feet stuck in it. It's not too bad. It's a balmy 79 degrees here today. Okay. But I knew it was going to be a hot one today. I said I'm not wearing. Yeah, normally I wear a collared shirt or something over this. Not happening today. Just too hot. Humidity, it's, I don't know what the percentage is. It's not too bad. Not too humid. What am I looking for? Ink. You have extra blues? Yeah, I probably don't need one. It's one of those things where like there are a few what I would call modern Parkers, and by modern I mean anything past like 1930 is a modern Parker for me. I occasionally pick up a senior Duofold, but I really like to focus on Lucky Curve and before. You'll offer me a trade when I want something you have. Yeah, that's probably what's going to do me in, isn't it? But there are certain models of Parkers that I do like. I like the Falcon 50s. I do like double jewel 51s and certain 51s in certain colors. I don't need to be a 51 collector that collects all the caps and all the, the models. There's a couple that I would like to have at some point in my life. A Signet 51 would be really super cool to go along with my my flighter that took me ages to piece together. But last year, what was it? Ohio last year, I ran across a gold-filled, I don't know if it's considered a Signet, a gold-filled Falcon 50 with the brown section. And clean, no dings in the metal cap or barrel. Really quite nice. And so I said, well, I gotta have, because I have a black set, and I have the flighter version. And I've had the all brown before, but I didn't keep it. That was a dumb decision. But but I couldn't pass on this gold filled set. It was really, or that wasn't a set. It was just a pen. All right, let's see how this is. So every once in a while, and I had an opportunity last year to acquire a couple of the harder to find 51 colors. And so I said to myself, well, sometimes you need an example of a color to be able to distinguish between another color. So the two most troublesome colors are plum, because it sort of looks like burgundy, and buckskin, which Yellowstone sort of looks like if it's discolored. So I had the opportunity to get a plum and a buckskin, and done. Deal done. A piece of air in there. That's what that was. It's pretty good. I'm using a very light touch. Very smooth nib. You have two Parker 50s, one gold trim and one chrome trim. Yeah, it's one of my favorite designs. Um, while I've had a couple T1s run through the shop over the years, I've never kept one. So it's the poor man's T1. Oh, it's just a little bit of Just a little bit of. There we go. Got it. The gold is called a signet. Okay, I thought it might be. They also did a TX and the what's a TX and the matte brown. Yeah, there we go. $45 TX. Well, I'm learning something new every day. I don't know what the TX is. Was the Signet, the Falcon 50 Signet, only with a brown section, or could you get it in a different colored section? Oh, TX was matte black. Well, I thought now I have a Falcon 50. Is that different than the 50B? Because I have a matte black. Oh, 45 TX is matte blue. Oh. Now that I didn't know about. That I gotta see. Oh. Okay. That's kind of unusual. I mean, brown is pretty unusual too, but blue, I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe I'll get lucky and find one in DC. You have 3. Send me a picture if you don't mind. I'd love to see one. Love to see what I'm getting myself up against. Flat gold Tassie. Yeah, you piqued my interest. Oh, it's a 45. Yeah, okay. But there's not a 50. Spin this out. I'm so confused now. The 50TX is the 50B in black, but the 50B is black. With silver trim, as I recall. I really hate having conversations like this sometimes because it was called both. Okay, yeah. Because it's so hard to, like, you know, there's usually a little bit of a lag and... Oh, that's weird. Why would they call it 2 things? All right, I'm going to call this more done. I'm going to call that done. Just be careful. Don't use a lot of pressure. I don't really think you need to. I use very light pressure on this. Very light pressure. It's super nice. Such a super cool color. You know, if anybody from, it's almost like a rust, but not like the VS in rust. But, like, you know, if anybody from Schaefer is listening. What a cool color the Legacy would be if it came in this color. Would it not be? Would that not be a really super cool Legacy? In this kind of, instead of just a, maybe, I mean, I want a burgundy, but if it came in this, I wouldn't be upset. Right? I mean, what a great color. It's like a dark Tuscan too. Like really a dark, because, you know, you've got like earlier Tuscan hard rubber is a little bit brighter. It's such a great color. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't care. Give me a stinking Legacy in any color. Maybe not pink, but any dark color would be really super great. That would be great. All right, that we can box that up. We get that out to you probably tomorrow. So I'll be able to. I got some time after the stream today to shoot you an email on that one. All right, let's see. While I'm here, I want to put this. This is that Esterbrook pencil. I just want to get this back together. Yeah, with the 14 karat nib. Now, Colin, we can't be that picky. We get one or the other. We don't get both. We don't get both. Right? I mean, with a gold nib, it's going to be $600. You know it. Boo! Yeah, I know. I'm on your side, man. I'm on your side. Totally. I get it. I would love nothing more than to get a modern Legacy. All right, so now if I understand correctly, the TX is really the B, and there's no blue 50. Is that where we're at? Is that what I got? Because I was excited that maybe there was a Falcon 50 in blue that I didn't have. You might pay $500 for the gold nib, even in black. You still use your PFM 3. Yeah, no blue 50. Ah, boo! Right? I mean, how great would that be? And that 45 Coronet blue in a Falcon 50 would be awesome, would it not? It'd be a great color. I came across a collection that included several. Just one more thing you'd have to collect, yeah. Several Falcons one time, and there was a 50B in the box, and the box is actually marked 50B on the top. It's a clear box, is a set. I said, okay. I'm not going to see this very often. You know, you get that stainless steel one. You get the lighter version every day of the week and twice on Sunday. But and you'll find black, but in the box with the matching pencil, that's not, you know, cracked at the clip. I think maybe I like it because there's really very few variations of the Falcon 50. And if you're going to shoot for a whole set of something, it's I won't say it's not that difficult, because it's, if you're going to try to add pencils, or do I have the pencil or the ballpoint? I can't remember. Did they make both? Falcon statuette commemoratives. Oh man, here we go. Only 100 made. Ballpoint. They didn't make a pencil. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a ballpoint. Now that I think about it. Because why would they make a pencil? Anyway. I see in the last day or so, Dan Zazov posted a bunch of nice. They did make both. Okay. Probably harder to find the ballpoints and pencils than it is to find the pens, I would imagine. The pens. Dan Zazov posted pictures of his nice prototype jotter collection. Really sweet. Pretty sweet. Sometimes you see prototypes and you go, well, why didn't they make this? They could have done that. That would have sold. And then sometimes you see prototypes and you go, oh, thank God they didn't make that. A ball pen in the gold. Okay. Gary, welcome. Today is my rest day, so I'm looking forward to going home and watching the tour after dinner. Yeah, how was the horse race? We got a winner? Winner chicken dinner? All right, well, we had blackened these, and I thought I would give it... Gabriel waves at you, Gary, from over on the Twitch side of things. We had put these in the Dr. G's. You fell asleep watching it? Brutal stage? I really got to stop. We've only got, this is what, stage 10, right? We've got 11 more stages to go. 12 days, I really need to not look at Facebook ever. Facebook, Instagram, not until after I've watched the final stage, or the end of the day. Because I may have seen who the winner was. Well, this doesn't want to go. Was trying to call me on my Google Voice number. Well, that should be long enough. I think this is maybe getting jammed. It's a little better. It doesn't. Now it's acting just like a clutch. It's a pretty scarce pencil, though. It's really, it's. I mean, I guess you could use it, but pretty rare. All right, we're gonna leave that at that for now. Tray. These guys are done. All right. All right, so I had to call in an audible and get an original vest pocket Duofold pressure bar. This, we put a hole in it. What size is that? That's a pretty small size. Probably a 13. Oh, it might even be a 14. Oh, that's probably a 14, huh? All right, I gotta get some sacks. I'll be right back. Did I miss the spider going across the screen? I probably even went a size up from this. Looks like it's going to be tough to get this on. Right across the notepad. It's too hot for spiders. Let me tell you that. It's too hot here for spiders. All right, there we go. I should have done that yesterday. I had no idea when I didn't have tracking on this, so I had no idea when this J-bar was coming in. All right. Okay, so this looks like about the same size as the other one. It fits in nicely. I think this was an aftermarket bar that was perhaps modified. All right, so we are going to need a writing instrument. Do we have a pen? Okay, so hopefully tomorrow we can finish this and then these can go away. All right. All right, next up. I don't think I showed this the other day. This is kind of cool. I almost passed this up. It's a Sengbush Dip-A-Day, which is maybe a really silly name. But look at this taper. It's hard rubber. It has a feed and nib unit very similar to early Esterbrook nib units, except this is not. Esterbrook nib units, there would be a slot in this feed, and then it had this little metal bar, and then you would lift that, pull that lever out, and then it would release. It needs a long bottle of Dr. G's, yeah. Well, just cut it in half and then glue it back together. The Esterbrook one, the lever would be up here, and then you would pull it, and then that would make it easier to get out. This is a not very user-friendly design that links at the back of the feed. I don't get it. But it was just a nice big chunk of hard rubber. I think it was $3.75. The nib is all kind of borked up. Singbush Dip-A-Day number 10. But I thought for $3.75 that's kind of fun. Probably can't straighten this out. I think I have another nib. It's moderately straight. But anyway, I thought, why not? I like anything that's hard rubber. Okay. We're going to try these guys out. So a nice, very short Endura. So it's more of a junior size. But in the hand, actually really, really comfortable. It's got a little bit of girth to it. Nice length posted. Nice 14 karat-ish medium nib. Super nice nib. Very nice. I've never kept an Endura. I don't know why. This is a great pen. Really a great pen. It fits my criteria, but yet here I am. Maybe if I can sell the other ones and this one doesn't sell, we'll keep this one. Got some brassing and plating lost, but a lot of these do. This one I'm intrigued by. Emma E. Knight. Beautiful Mahler hard rubber, wood grain. Ring top, but decent girth to it. '14 karat warranted, number 4 nib. But kind of medium to start. A little bit of softness to it. Needs a tiny adjustment. Got some springiness to it. Nice pen. Next up, super cool. Triumph nib balance. Super nice nib. Really great. Three down, three to go. That is going to make a fantastic user right there. Oops. Long, skinny balance. Let's see how this one goes. Kind of a fine point. A little bit of feedback going up. You just bought an. I saw that. It must be Edison today because I sold another one not too long ago. I will get that boxed up, and this afternoon it will go out tomorrow. Thank you very much. I gotta admit, I wasn't sold on that color to begin with, and it did very well. It did very well. So, um, I will mention today, and I alluded to this yesterday. Um, Twisby horsehair on the Eco. I was able to acquire some more. I actually got the invoice today and the shipping notification. I didn't get everything that I wanted, which tells me that maybe they are really down to the end. But there will be more horsehair coming. So fine, medium, and stub that I'm out of now, I will have more of. You don't like the horsehair, Colin? It's been for whatever reason, it's hard to determine. You always got to play these games where they go, what do you buy? Extra fine, medium, broad, 1.1. You sell a lot of fines for sure. You sell mediums. Sometimes you sell broad. Sometimes you sell stubs. Sometimes you sell a lot of stubs. Sometimes you sell a lot of extra fines. It's never the same. Silly cartoon horse. Well, so like I got a lot. I mean, I got a decent supply of extra fines in stock. I couldn't believe it. I was really shocked. But everything else sold out. If they did the same thing, then, I give them points for trying something different. You need to see a review of the new Safari. Textured. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I'm a little disappointed that they went with the color choices they went with. But, then because number one, it's not much different than charcoal and dark dusk, but it's also very hard to see what the difference is in the pictures. Mine's on its way. I don't have it yet. My experience is most of the manufacturer's images are very, very, very dark. I mean, they're just, I don't know what's going on. But if they do all the Chinese zodiac, you have to wait until 2037 for the snake to roll around again. 2037? 2037. Did I get my battery issue taken care of? No, I haven't. I have an idea what it is. I got to check the plug on the battery tender because I think that might be causing the issue. It's causing a disconnect. So I got to check that. I just didn't have time to do it yesterday. Tonight's my day off from riding, so every other day of the week, I get done with work and I get home, I eat, and I ride right away because otherwise it's way too late to be screwing around in the garage or whatever. But you sold 6 pens yesterday in a Montblanc pen sleeve. Wow, you're on a roll, man. The ones you have sold have been listed for ages, so glad they're gone. Are you selling them mostly to people in Australia, or are they going overseas? I don't think I'd mind the textured grip on the new Lamy. Is it textured on the body too? I don't know. The pictures are going for something like a Diplomat Viper. The pictures are really kind of bad. I don't know. As soon as I know, I'll let you know. Boy, this is smooth which is probably an extra fine. It's textured on the body as well, but only on the flat surfaces. Yeah, extra fine here. Nice nib though. Holy cow. That's a super nice extra fine nib. Really very nice. Very nice. The Diplomat Cobra is making you grumpy. You've been collecting the Vipers hoping for red, but they made a new pen. But they make a new pen in the red. The Viper has been one of those pens that I was thinking about bringing on. I think it's going to happen, but Lisa needs to see it. I saw it earlier in the year, and I know it's been out a couple years now. It's gotten decent reviews. It's a Diplomat, so what can go wrong with it? Oh, this one we're going to have to seal up a little bit. So Lisa's going to take a look at it in a couple weeks. When we go to DC, I'm sure it's going to be one of those cases where I'm out doing my thing and then she just happens to come. I happen to see her and she's got a handful of vipers or something. I don't know. Well, this converter doesn't really fit properly in there, but I don't seem to have a piston converter hanging around here. So it's like Fountain Pen Network is back online again. Yeah, I tried to get on today, and I clicked like 3 links, and then I got shut out. Yeah, because I'm technically a moderator, so I get moderation reports, and I was shocked when I got one. And so I clicked on the link. I was, looking at the moderation report, and I thought, well, and then I clicked on something else. I forget what it was. I think it was regular forums. And then I got to the forum page. So that was my second page. And then the top one, the top forum is the news and announcements, the forum announcements. I clicked on that, and then it timed out, and it said something like, too many, not too many clicks, but too many something. There we go. So if you've got every 45 in the world, there's an Eversharp version of it. A Big E. I guess that's called the Big E, isn't it? Might have a box for it somewhere. You like the hooded nib on the Viper? The Cobra is just a blade. Diplomat does a good nib, but meh. You got a number of the Big E's? I know I've got a box for one. I had one. I picked one up at one point, and it turned out I forget what the deal was. I discovered there was a crack in the pen, or the nib tine was bad, or something was bad with it. So I had this great box with the almost new Big E. You have one in Kawasaki green. I don't even know what color that is. So if I can find that box, I might be able to get rid of the box. It's all about the little victories here. Kathleen, you're late here today for a very good reason. I just had a new pet food rep stop in to chat. He needed a pen, so I handed him the Waterman Forum that stays on my desk. He was surprised, as he collects fountain pens too. We did talk about pet food, though. Okay. Always nice to run into someone who collects. I'm getting a little extra. Kind of neon, but a little darker. Okay. Weird. So that guy doesn't fit, or if it does, I don't really, I'm not pushing hard enough. It needs a serious polish, but otherwise it's okay. All right, get them out. Big E's seem to have like an even softer plastic. They don't hold up. They don't look like they hold up as well as a regular 45. I got Pen Club this weekend. I got to remember to take this improved salad spinner along just for fun. And I need to bring pens that need to be cleaned. You brought a platinum pocket pen with a platinum alloy nib to work this week. It's always the older customers who comment on your pen. She was so amused and asked to write with it because she hadn't seen a fountain pen in ages. Nice. I remember one of my last jobs. I used to use like pretty much a different fountain pen every day. Vintage pen, and nobody would ever say anything. And then one day I'm in a meeting with like the vice president or something. He's one of the owners. I think his title was vice president. And I have a black Esterbrook J. And he just about freaked out. Like, oh my gosh. You know, I mean, I would go to meetings with more safeties and I mean, you know, it's just crazy stuff. Nobody would say anything. And then I go and take a black J to a meeting and he just freaks out. Like, is that a fountain pen? The Cobra has a slanted cap, unique, I guess, for copying ST DuPont. You seem to be having luck finding Japanese pocket pens with broad nibs lately. Yeah, that's luck, I would say. You want to find them in extra fine? Piece of cake. Fine, you betcha. Medium? Not so much. Broad? Get out of here. Zoom? Better put up some money. I remember going to the Ohio Pen Show one year, and this was back when I was at the old hotel, and we were in the small room, which was right as you enter, you kind of go forward instead of going around to the right and down the hallway. And there was somebody, and I forget what day of the week it was, but there was somebody there who was set up with just pocket pens, and he was selling, I kid you not, platinum pocket pens with music nibs for $25. So naturally, I bought one. But like pretty much every pocket pen was 25. It was under $50, 25 to $50. Huh? I think I bought like 4 or 5 pens, sold 2, made my money, kept the music nib for a while. And that's like, that's like marketplace economics, right? He was happy as a clam. He sold 5 pens, 4 or 5 pens. Yeah, I should have bought the whole table. If I knew then what I know now, or even what I knew 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would have bought the whole table. Yeah. What I found though, because I've tried to do that. I've actually gone up to a person like on the last day of the show and I said, "How much for the whole table?" It was a little bit presumptuous, and they kind of freaked out because they were like, "Well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do for the next show?" And I'm thinking, you don't have to go to the next show. You don't have to sit behind the table. You don't have to pay the table fee. You get all your money now. They didn't seem to understand the concept that I was going to give them all the money. It didn't work. And that table, I remember, I bought a very early more safety with the little small cap, kind of a square cap that threads on. American Fountain Pen Company nib. Yeah, how much for the whole table? Oh, we can't do that. What I should have done is I should have then just proceeded to buy 2 or 3 pens at a time and then gone back to the table, dropped them off, come back. Hey, I'll take these 3. All right. Got those. That's going to wait. I don't know what's in there. Throw that in there. You could rent a salad spinner as a new service to pen collectors. That would be something, wouldn't it? Oh man, it's getting hot in here already. I can feel it. It's so hot that my phone won't charge. I've got my phone on the charger and it says it will, when it cools off, it will resume charging. I do want to fix this this cardinal up. This clip is just really not. I mean, I think I paid $5 or $8 or something for it, so I'm really not too worried about it. Now, the question is how is that gonna hold on when we have a sack there? I guess we're gonna find out. This Esterbrook was also one that I found this weekend. No J-bar, no spacer. It's empty. Do we have anything in here? Well, if you had to charge by the hour for how long it's going to take to fix these Kohinoors, you can't charge enough. And the water in my ultrasonic has evaporated at least 1.5 inches. All right, it's feeling a little better. It fills up to the ink window. Question is it going to write worth anything after all of this? I need to graduate to a bigger ultrasonic. I just have a little $40 model from Amazon. Any recommendations? Yes. The recommendation I have for you is going to be hard to find. But if you can find it, I hesitate to tell you because it's the model I use and it's long been discontinued. But I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do if this one ever dies. But what I use, and if you think you're going to have, if you think you're going to use, do a lot of cleaning. I use the Crest, I believe it's the HTA 875. It's about just shy of 3/4 of a gallon. It has a drain. It does have heat. Of course, you don't need that. But I only buy ultrasonics now that have drains. I was able to find a similar size because they haven't made the 875 in a long time. So I bought a couple of them used off of eBay, and one of them did burn up on me. And Crest did offer to fix it for me. However, and they had great back and forth customer service on the email because he actually spoke to the technician. And he said he was willing to try it. However, there was a strong possibility that it wasn't fixable, and there was like a service charge. I forget what the service charge was, $100, $150 or something, which I believe applied towards the repair. If it was repairable. It's not, but I sent him multiple pictures and he was like, because I started it up one day and smoke started coming out of it. Thankfully, it was my backup, so I had a Chinese unit that I bought. That was okay, but my cat, and back in the day, I had it in my house. My cat absolutely hated it. If I turned it on and he was in the room, his feet were like. And I think that one I sold. Oh. Your cat hates it if you have the lid open? Yeah. So I like Crest. I like them a lot. The problem is they no longer make, I think the smallest, and I think this is short-sighted on their part, the smallest ultrasonic they now make, I haven't checked in a while, but last I checked, the smallest one they now make with a drain, because let me tell you, it's so much easier to turn the drain and let it drain down. I've got it in a bucket down underneath the bench. I think it's 4 gallons. And don't think I won't buy a 4-gallon ultrasonic, but you know, I don't need to clean my trumpet, and in addition to everything else, you know. Dang it. I'm going to use up this whole bottle of Rapidoids just, yeah, it's a bit big. It's a bit big, you know. I would go up to a gallon. Okay, this is stupid. But 4 gallons, and let me tell you, a 4-gallon ultrasonic is not inexpensive. It is. So you got to do a little bit of digging. Let's see. Just to give you an idea, I'm on their website now. Benchtop, that's what we need. They start at $1,200. Oh, they actually have a drain kit. Well, how big is this one? They do. They've got one. 3/4 of a gallon. The P230 HT45. Now, the problem we run into now is all of the modern ultrasonics have a digital display. So if you find, let me just double check here. Yeah, if you find an HTA 875, they have dials. So you can just crank it, and it's like one less thing to go wrong. Which I like. But I realize $1,200 is a lot of bread. Oh, this is coming out. Probably going to be, you know, pushing $1,400 by the time you buy the drain kit and get it shipped. But you get a Crest warranty. We don't need touchscreens and extra bills. They just don't make them. They don't. They all have touchscreens now. Every one of them. All right, let's throw this in the. So this is a new development for me. I'm actually quite happy. That there's an ultrasonic that they make that's less than 4 gallons. Now, don't get me wrong. I would pay $500 or $600 for one. So maybe I might have to go on the used market. But 1,200. Oof. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Let's do this cardinal, huh? Let's put a sack on this cardinal. Let's see what we need. It's probably a pretty big sack. I bet you I fit an 18 on there. You think? Perfect. Now this one's just for my own amusement, so it's, you know. I'd love to be able to buy one that didn't even have heat too, but if you do that, because you don't need heat for pen repair, but you do that, there'll be like that one instance where you go, well, I can put this in the ultrasonic XYZ. And then you need it. But, they all come with heat. Okay, so this might be an actual case where this is designed, there's the end. This is actually designed to go all the way up. So I think that's where I cut it. I'll back it off like a millimeter. Because this goes there. It goes all the way up and over. Now, usual caveats apply. I have had someone tell me that my ultrasonic is overkill, and they tried to tell me it was bad for fountain pens. I have had precisely one pen that broke in the ultrasonic. That pen would have broken in any ultrasonic because I did not pay attention at the time that it was crystallized in the cap, and the ultrasonic vibrations took that cap and made it into 1,000 pieces. So I've been using the same model ultrasonic for As long as Lisa and I have been together. Which now I have to answer how many years that is. 2018 years. And I think Crest actually laughed at me when I told them how old my ultrasonic was. I gave them the serial number. They're like, holy, you kidding me? I forget how old they said it was. All right. That is soaking in here. That we got to test. This is a part. What a nightmare these are. These are just a nightmare. Why am I doing these? Maybe we can make one pen out of a couple of these. There's... You bought a microwave oven for your mom for Christmas and it lasted like 25 years? In 78. Yeah, my mom had a microwave for a long time. It was huge. It had a broiler plate on it. I mean, it was something else. I'm just going to throw this whole thing in here. My Dr. G's is getting kind of suspect. Doesn't fit. Okay, so there. I bought these stupid things. I better at least try to fix them. If they work, great. If they don't, well. I'm gonna throw all these parts in there. Alright, I'm gonna have to work nib. Well, this has got all sorts of little. Looks like it went through a sandblaster. Hitting on it, it's it's almost not even worth the expense of the sack. But you know, I like a challenge. All right, this guy needs a J-bar. Got a color TV set when you were 8 in 1968. It was all wood floor model cabinet Quasar works, and you had it until 1990. Yeah. Nowadays, you're lucky if a TV lasts, you know, 6-7 years. I remember in 2008, I bought, at the time, a very expensive TV. A plasma TV. I splurged. I got this gray TV. I forget what actually ever happened to it, but I think I put it out for the curb and somebody picked it up. And now you could buy something just as good at like Walmart or Amazon or any of those other places. Target even, you know, for less than $500, you know, and it's going to be a 50-inch TV or something. It's just silly is what it is. So let's throw that. 2. Yeah, so Gabriel, I'm sure there are other brands of ultrasonic. I've just been very happy with my Crest, and I mean it's kind of a Cadillac of ultrasonics for sure. I'm sure there's some Chinese made ones that work just fine. All right, well, those are soaking. So worst case scenario, I've got this, what looks like a new old stock rapidograph unit. Hmm. Guess I should have done it that way, but I didn't trust the looks of that. There's a 3/4 gallon Crest on the bay for $320. Older style with the dials. Let's take a look, shall we? Let me pull my Crest ultrasonic search up. Mrs. Anderson.
Who's the best wife and business partner on the planet?
That sounds like a trick question. Yeah.
Who's the best person on
You are the
Who's
best
your
person.
favorite person?
You. What on earth is that?
Or is it? Sales rep just came in.
I love your sales rep. Is that the one with the glasses?
Yeah, you're funny. There might be a second piece in your.
Oh, there might be a second piece in my future. It's like 1,000 degrees in here.
I know. What the hell? And I still can't find my scarf.
Thank you for the brownie.
You're welcome.
Sorry, folks. I eat this. All right. All right. 230 HT. Yeah, it looks like it's got a drain. That's does it work? Used good. Yeah, so what you would need to do is what I did with the first one that I got. That's a good deal. I don't know what the difference is between that and the one that I have. But we'll have fun. Now, how much is shipping? Free shipping. Wow. That's a good deal. That's really a good deal. Jump on that. You'll need to buy a drain. The original drain that Crest came with were horrible. They had this goofy little thing where you would bend the, like you did when you were a kid, and you bend the outside hose to get it to stop from flowing. That's what they had. They had like this stupid little goofy clamp. So I went to the hardware store and bought, I think, paydays tomorrow might be under consideration. Yeah, that's a good deal. Seriously. I think because the first one I bought, the seller shipped in like the dumbest packaging ever, and they broke off the drain. So I said, well, listen, just reimburse me for the cost of the drain parts. And so I went to the hardware store. I bought the drain parts. I bought a drain hose, and I think it was like $8. And they just refunded me the whole amount. So I got my first Crest for free. I think the second one was free too for some weird reason. But yeah, so I was like $8. I think the second one I probably paid, inflation, probably paid 10. I mean, you can get out of there with like under $15. And then you can get a nice on off. And then get yourself 3 feet of holes because they probably come in. Well, they probably come in. I think at my hardware store they were like 3 feet length, so I bought 3 feet, cut it to what I needed it, so it would run down into a gallon jug, which is inside of a larger waste paper basket. So in the event that on occasion I do forget to empty it after I empty the ultrasonic, I forget to empty the waste jug. So if it overflows, then it overflows into the garbage can. So you're falling for that red one? Which red one? Which red one? All right, this I'm going to throw in the ultrasonic because it was dirty. Aren't we here about pens? You don't know. Well, we are. But ultrasonics, pens and tools. Oh, the stylo. Oh, okay. Well, it's not working very well for me, so. It may just end up in the parts bin. Or I have a separate bin of parts that don't even qualify to go into the parts bins. And then those are the pens that I sell. Oh, there's a little chip in here. Bugger. I don't like that at all. Yeah, and about once a year, that bin gets sold. I have 2 people who buy my junk essentially. But I mean, it's stuff that I'm just, never, ever, ever going to use. Or it's like, it's broken. What the hell is up with this? Broken roller balls and ballpoints and crap like that. That stuff doesn't live here very long. Because you get a big enough box, and I have folks who buy by the pound. These just doing a surprise inspection. She misplaced a scarf of hers, and we can't find it. So she's been looking everywhere for it. pressure bar is really, really nasty. I mean, come on. Seriously. It almost looks like ballpoint ink. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen all sorts of crazy crap. That is much better. All right. All right, Dr. G's. So while we're at it, let's throw that in there. See if we can get this cap open. There we go. Pull that back in there. That in there. Now, let's see. This needs a J-bar, but it doesn't have the spacer, so I bet we can fit a 54 in there. We can get that in there. It's full length. I'm not going to try. Like a 50 would be better. Work. Especially when the weather is hot like it is today, you got to keep an eye on your ultrasonic even when you don't use heat because it gets hot quickly. Couldn't tell if this barrel had ink in it or not. Seems to be okay now. Clip is loose. Yeah, maybe worst case scenario, I'll have the nicest looking Kohinoor parts pins in the business. Alright, so we got Duofold parts in the Dr. G's and the Rapidoes. I've got the caps. This one wouldn't come open. This red one. Now it does. We're going to be able to make something out of one of these. I just know it. I hate buying stuff, and then it's not restorable. These are going to need to air dry. I'm glad at least the first one worked out, because sometimes, you know, when you work on things, they don't always work out in that order. And The tan. That dry out. Inner cap. Look at that. Oh, nasty stuff. But we did have a question last week that I missed on the podcast when I talked about the Kohinoor. You can use regular fountain pen ink with them. You don't have to always use technical drawing ink. And if you do, you're not going to end up with this problem. You just clean it like you would any other pen. Hopefully on a regular basis. Okay, I saw something else floating in here. This stupid thing. I hate these things. It's a lot better, but there's still stuff in there. It needs to freely move. Every time I put this in, I see something on it. Just can't see through it. All right. This tray's getting a little messy here. Do yourself a favor. Don't ever buy these. Don't ever buy these. They're fun to take apart, that's for sure. I give it that. Everything just unscrews with a lot of threads. Also, now this one has a cover, and then on the inside you can see the metal. You definitely need to buy one now. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm regretting this decision, like, immensely. Go in there. I'll tell you what, that gray one that I had last week, though, wrote really well. Wow, this is bent. Almost looks replaced. It's crooked, but super. It's like hairline. We're gonna kind of put the lid on that for now. You need a red one. Does it have to have the right needle on it? This one's working. we're gonna call it done on that. If they have just enough yeah, it has to work. If they're even the remotest not straight, it's enough friction for it not to go back down once it's pushed up. I'm just going to take these Duofold parts out of here. Rub them off, and then we've got something to start with tomorrow. And the blind cap. If I can grab it. They get slippery in here. If you've never used this, it gets, once that oxidation starts coming off, they're slippery as a little eel. Like it's like trying to grab a fish. So I'm going to give myself a handle. And in this case, I got to keep turning it counterclockwise so it doesn't unscrew. Or clockwise if I hold in the other hand. Alright. It's probably not enough time for this in here, but I'm starting to melt, so we're going to see what we can get off of it and then call it a day. Because I got Plain Waters pen I got to package up tonight. Not bad. It might darken up overnight. All right, well, that's a whole lot of mess going on there, isn't it? I guess the nice thing about an ultrasonic with buttons on it is you can easily turn it off. This I gotta like force the dial back to the 0 position. But all right, well, we'll continue these tomorrow. What do we got to do tomorrow? So let's take a look. Those are done. We're going to try that vest pocket. We're going to pray that it goes together and it works. It's junk. We can test the cardinal We'll test this Holland tomorrow too, this stylograph. Or unplug it. Well, yeah. And we'll figure out what we're gonna do with these. This sack is a little bit too weird. I think they could have gone with the 16 maybe and done a better job, but we'll see. Reassemble some of these. We'll clean this, try to get this tray down, and then after this, I have some 51s. I've got some touchdowns in those box sets that I really want to get cooking on. So we're gonna do those, and I might have some other pens coming in the mail too. So we'll see what happens with those. But I'm gonna call it a day. I am just like roasting right now, and I'm gonna do a little work. It's like I can't even go outside and get fresh air because it's like 98 degrees. So, but anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we'll catch you tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.